I scared Tanya the last time when I was painting her ceiling on her part of the office that she's in right now. My hat fell off and scared the hell out of her. It's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh shit. Oh, no. Maybe not.
Llama.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is the detention docket for the 323rd District Report. It's December 15th, 2020. Comply with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 29 related to the coronavirus. We are not conducting in-person proceedings, but we are using Zoom. However, to comply with the Open Courts Act, to give the public access to proceedings inside the courtroom, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube. However, this is still a court proceeding. The court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. That means please not be laying in bed or in the lavatory. Please refrain from having moving backgrounds, moving vehicles, domesticated animals crossing the screen, Ms. Perkins. There's the delay. I was trying to catch you in the middle of a sip. And because the audio delayed, I missed it. Okay, so no portion of this proceeding may be recorded, published, or broadcast. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and up to a $500 fine. We're going to go ahead and start with our inmate in custody, Mr. Benito Mendoza. Mr. Adler, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, Mr. Mendoza, this is a 10-day detention hearing. I need to review your case, decide to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll have a hearing every 10 days. You do have a right to an attorney. You have a right to remain silent. Mr. Adler, if you want to explain that to your client.
Señor Mendoza, el juez te está diciendo otra vez que esto es una audiencia de los 10 días de lo que usted y yo hablamos. Tienes el derecho a tener un abogado que soy yo. Y la decisión que va a ser hoy o ahorita es si te quedas ahí o te deja ir fuera de la cárcel.
All right. So in this case, Mr. Mendoza, there was a case, you were accidentally released from Mejia State School about 15 years ago. You were on the run, which I understand, but you were caught trying to leave this country into the Republic of Mexico. And so I'm uncomfortable with releasing you. I'm not comfortable with you appearing for court when necessary.
Que el juez hace 15 años atrás, tú sabes lo que pasó y por qué estás aquí hoy, y el juez no está cómodo dejándote ir hoy, pero como usted sabe, tenemos corte esta semana sobre su caso.
All right. So I'm detaining you, Mr. Adler. The court has been informed that Mr. Mendoza's pod is now under quarantine. And so we have a setting on Thursday, but because he's in that quarantine pod, I guess the options are we can proceed via Zoom, or if he's invoking his right to confrontation, we can reset it. Does your client have an election?
Judge, I'm going to tell him that, but I'm going to have an election. So it's our hearing for this Thursday is two things. It's a certification hearing and it's a competency hearing.
Right.
I don't mind doing the competency part via Zoom. The certification part I need to do in person with him.
Okay. So you would like to just go on Thursday on the competency only?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and leave that on the docket then. All right, thank you, Mr. Adler.
Thank you, Judge.
You want to explain that to him, or are you going to touch bases later?
No, I'm going to go see. Yeah, I'll touch base with him later.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adler.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Sheriff, thank you for bringing this inmate here. Next, we have LaJordan Fusilier. so Mr. Facilier. Hi, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Your attorney requested this hearing. Mr. Ferguson, for what purpose did you request this?
Judge, actually, I believe the state requested it, or potentially Ms. Guerrero. He was arrested in Dallas County on a new offense back about a week ago. So I did not technically request this. I believe it was the state. So.
Okay, so Miss, all right, so Mr. Facilier, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Usually.
All right. So you're 15 years old. You have a pending case. There we go. For shots fired in an apartment complex, 3 suspects in a vehicle. Oh, this hearing, I'm trying to decide whether to take you into custody or to leave you in the community. If I take you into custody, you have the right to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to an attorney, and Mr. Ferguson is here, and you have your right to remain silent. All right, so found vehicle apartment complex, turned on the lights and sirens. There was a pursuit, running several stoplights and stop signs. The vehicle was reported stolen out of Dallas County. Then when the vehicle slowed down, 3 black males exited, 2 ran into apartment complex, 3rd one ran to the fence. Vehicle was left running and hit a brick sign. The police were unable to determine who was driving. So found shopping bags, backpacks, credit cards, cell phones inside the vehicle, and a black Ruger magazine laying in the doorway of the apartments where 2 suspects ran through. Then they started live streaming from Instagram, so the police knew where they were. And the Instagram live story showed the individuals making incriminating statements. Right. And when you're brought in, you're positive for marijuana. So now, about 7 o'clock in the morning on December 6th, see, Dallas County told us that they were trying to pull a vehicle over, driver accelerated, evading the officer, passed the light, hit another vehicle. 5 people jumped out, ran from the police. Jordan was seen jumping out of the driver's side, and he was apprehended. He was released to his mother from Dallas County Juvenile Detention. Petition has been filed, but there's no court yet. Okay, well, Jordan, I'm concerned about this. Obviously, Dallas County felt like there was a reason to release you. So I'm going to kind of defer to them a little bit. I'm concerned that you're caught with a similar type of offense. This is what I'm going to do. So you have a pending case here, Ms. Guerrero. Let's go ahead and give Jordan a urinalysis test. If he's positive for anything, we'll take him into custody. If positive for anything, he shouldn't be. If he's negative, then I'm okay releasing him on electronic monitor. All right, Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Jordan,
Judge.
we're going to give a UA. If he refuses to submit a sample, then we're going to go ahead and take you into custody, so you can't get out of this. And then we'll get a hair follicle test if he refuses. Okay?
Yes,
All right.
Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Decorium Montague. Ms. Padron, you need to stay still and keep the sun out of the background, please. This is still a court setting. iPhone, whoever that is, you need to turn your camera on, please. All right, Mr. Montague, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. I'm here to decide whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And let's see. Okay, you're level 1 outstanding. You're 16 years old. This is the All right. This is the one where he was on electronic monitor, cut it off, and now arrested for capital murder. So.
And Your Honor, we had a status last week. He has a psychological schedule for December 20th. Then the resource staffing will be probably the first week of January, once we get all that back. So our next status conference is January 8th.
Okay, great. Mr. Montague, I'm concerned. You were released before. You cut off your monitor and picked up a new offense. I feel like if I release you, you'd be a danger to yourself and to others. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Thank you, Mr. Montague. All right, Devette Moore.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
Mr. Moore, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I need to decide whether to take you into custody, keep you in custody, or release you. If I keep you in custody, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. Whoever's iPhone that is, you need to be on the camera, please. You don't need to look at the ceiling. Thank you. Carlota Padron, please turn your camera on. All right, whoever's on that iPhone, you need to stop moving. You need to sit still. You need to be on the camera. I mean, this is court, so please behave appropriately for court. All right, Mr. Moore. See, you had a pending case for assault, family violence, and we released you on electronic monitor. No, wait, we released you. Let's see. And called us saying that you walked out of the home after she told you to clean the room. You returned home and then left a second time, and Irving PD found you. So, all right. We gave you a drug test and you were negative, which is good. All right, so is the aunt here?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Walker, so when he left, do you know where he went?
No, he just went out. I have no idea.
How long was he gone for?
Don't know. He didn't come back.
Oh, he never came back? Well, how long
No.
was he gone before the police found him? Do you know?
No.
How long was he gone the first time when he left and then came back?
Maybe about like 2 minutes.
Okay, so right away. So, do you live in Irving?
Yes, I do.
The police didn't call you after they picked him up?
Yeah, it was like at 8 o'clock last night when they called me.
What time did he leave the second time?
He left, I want to say about high noon. So it was about noon, 1 o'clock when he left, somewhere up in there.
Okay, so he was gone for 7 or 8 hours?
Yeah.
Otherwise, how's he been inside your home?
It was interesting, very interesting. It was just, he's been okay. It's just, I had a hard time having him to clean up behind himself. He's treating my home like his personal playground, and I don't allow that.
Right, no, you shouldn't. So he's 16, and he's old enough to pick up after himself. You're not his mom. And even if you were, he's still old enough to pick up after himself. All right, so then, Ms. Walker, let me ask you this. If we tried just kind of a slight attitude adjustment, are you willing to give him another shot in your home?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So you wouldn't work with me on this one? Or you, like, there's just kind of a progression that we do, especially with kids, to try and help them make better decisions rather than kind of wash our hands of things. So, but it's your decision, it's your home. So if you're not comfortable with him coming back at all, I understand. If you're willing to help me help him, then I could certainly use your help, but I'm not going to force that upon you. Have you made it? Is the cake baked already, or are we still making the cake?
Huh?
Have you already made up your mind? Is the cake already baked?
Oh, yeah, no, that's cooked. Yeah,
Okay.
that's burnt. That's burnt.
It's burnt. All right.
It's burnt.
Well, Mr. Moore, at this point, you had your opportunity. Ms. Walker was nice enough to take you into her home, but you know, decisions have consequences. So this is just a consequence of that. So I'm going to detain you. Ms. Sherman, if you can find another relative placement, then we'll reconsider this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Danny Parker. All right, Mr. Parker, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to release you or keep you here. If I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Houston, are you here? Okay, so Mr. Adler, I'm going to ask you to step in for Mr. Houston.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Parker, You're almost 17 years old. You were brought in for, let's see, mom lives in Abilene, where you were supposed to be. You were brought in, there was a shooting call, and the police saw you exiting Texaco, adjusting your waistband. Seemed like you're concealing a handgun. Right, so let's see, Mr. Kroll, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he had a UCW charge, was released to Abilene, made his way back to Tarrant County and found another gun. Is that correct? Is that what appears to be so?
That is correct. On 7/30, he had a UUMV in UCW. Judge Porter released him after some time on level 1.
Okay.
Supposed to be residing with the mother in Abilene.
Right, and he was on probation for burglary of a habitation using a deadly weapon.
Prior to, yes.
Prior to, okay.
That has been completed.
And he's also positive for amphetamines, methamphetamines, and marijuana.
I believe that is the last 2 times he's came in as well.
All right, so Danny, if I was to release you, I feel like you're a danger to yourself and others. Do we have a parent here for Mr. Parker?
Mom is present. That is, her name on the screen is Carlotta Padron.
Okay. Hello, Ms. Padron. All right.
Hello.
I know you can only do so much and you want the best for Danny, but if he's refusing to accept your supervision, there's only so much we can do. And so at this point, I'm afraid I'm going to release him. He's going to run away, find another gun, or meth. So,
Sir,
yes.
can I speak?
Yes.
Okay, the only reason he was in Tarrant County was he was here and he injured himself. He broke his jaw. Okay, they transferred us to Tarrant County.
Wait, he broke his own jaw?
No, he had fell and broke his jaw.
He fell.
Okay.
Where did he
Yes.
fall and break his jaw?
The weather was bad here. Okay. And he had fell off the porch and broke his jaw. Okay. They transferred us to JPS.
Hold on, I'm still getting it. When did he fall and break his jaw?
This was in October. Okay.
How did he fall off a porch and break his jaw in October?
He fell when he went to catch himself, he couldn't catch himself and he hit his face on the cement. Okay. So when I took him to the ER, they sent him from the ER here. They transported him from here to Fort Worth. Okay. We stayed in Fort Worth a week. They did surgery to put a metal plate in his jaw. Okay. I left him there with someone who I thought I could trust, with one of his aunts. I left him there because if he needed any further medical attention, it was hard for me to get him from Abilene to JPS, without having to drive 2.5 hours.
All right, so Mr. Kroll, did he have permission to be in Fort Worth for the medical treatment?
I was unaware that he was here until he was picked up. So no one had touched base with me. And that's not the original story I was told.
Right. What was the original story you were told?
That he was assaulted, which caused to his jaw being broke.
Okay. All right, so that was, who told you that?
I believe Anthony himself as well as Mom.
So they both did. All right. So, Mom, which one was it? Did he fall or was he hit?
I think he was assaulted. I don't know. I heard 2 different stories, so I'm really not sure.
So why would you tell me that he fell and hit his jaw?
I thought he fell.
Wait, you just said you thought he was assaulted.
I don't know, because one time he told me he fell, and then the second time he told me he was assaulted.
So do you know or do you not know?
I think that he was assaulted.
So do you know or do you not know?
I don't know.
Then why would you tell me that he fell?
Because I thought that's what he told me originally, that he had failed. And then he told me he was assaulted, so I'm not sure which one it is.
So why would you represent to me that he fell when you didn't know and he told you 2 different stories?
Because he told me he had failed.
But you didn't say that. You told me that he fell because of the weather. So are you lying to me now or were you lying to me before?
No, I'm not lying to you at all. That's what he had told me, that he had failed. First, he told me he was assaulted, and then he told me he fell. So what am I supposed to believe, sir?
Well, you're supposed to believe what you're supposed to believe, but before you talk to the court, you should be confident about what you're saying instead of basing your word on a liar, which your son evidently is. So, and then, of course, you didn't call us and let us know that he was coming to Tarrant County because he was supposed to be living with you in Abilene. When you have him live with somebody else, that's also breaking the rules of the release that we released him to you for, right?
Okay.
So
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know I had to have permission, or I didn't know I had to call anybody. Nobody stated that fact to me. If I took him to Tarrant County, I would have to let somebody know that he was in Tarrant County. Nobody ever told me that.
So we had to tell you when we released your son to you.
Exactly.
And you said that you signed a piece of paper saying that you were taking possession and control of him.
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't think that when you have him live with somebody else, you would have to let us know with the pending case.
Yes, sir.
That's a yes. You wouldn't think that you would have to let us know.
No, sir. I would have to let you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Parker, at this point, I just don't even trust your mom anymore with her lying to me. So with you lying to me, with your mom lying to me, I think you're in danger. I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right. So we'll go Hugo Poca Sangre. Was clean? That's all of us, right? Was he? All right, Hugo, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Adler is here. Good morning, Mr. Adler.
Good morning, Judge.
So, see, Hugo, we issued a warrant for you for violating your electronic monitor. You have a pending case for aggravated robbery. I'm not sure why we released you on the aggravated robbery case. I believe another judge did. And do we have a parent here?
Yes, Your Honor. It's Miss Reyes on
Hello, Miss Reyes. All right. Yeah, Hugo, so I consider this like an accidental release. And if you did everything right, you'd be on the outside. But since you were picked up for the EM violation, I'm not comfortable releasing you on the offense. So I'm not sure which judge did it. They had their own reasons, but I disagree with releasing you on this type of offense. The fact that you cut off your EM just makes it worse for you. All right, Mr. Pocasangre, so I'm going to go ahead and keep you in custody. Thank you. Jaden Reed. All right, Mr. Reed, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Is he in relation to Jalen Reed? Do we know?
Your Honor, not that I know of.
Do we have a parent here for Mr. Reed?
No, I tried to call mom, didn't get an answer, and then I tried to call stepfather, and it was the wrong number.
All right, so let's see. Yesterday, Jaden, Hearst PD brought you in. They're saying at 1 o'clock they were dispatched domestic. When they spoke to mom's boyfriend, he said that you refused to go to school because you were tired. You started playing video games. When mom's boyfriend told you that you need to get off, you became upset. When he walked down the hallway, you attacked him, hitting him in the face, causing him pain. So you're detained and brought back here. And there's a possible charge of ag assault with a deadly weapon, family violence against your brother that happened at an earlier date. Jaden, what's your brother's name?
Dylan.
All right, so we don't have any family members here?
None, Your Honor.
All right, Jaden, at this point, I don't have a place to release you to. I'm going to let you know that I'm open to the idea of releasing you, but it's going to be a situation where it's safe for everyone. So if your mom's boyfriend's there, he's basically going to have to say, he's okay with you coming back if he lives in that home. All right, so.
May I speak for a quick second?
Yes.
My client
provided an option. His father's in town. And
Okay.
I've asked the probation officer to contact his father as a possible release person because he wasn't notified about today's hearing.
All right. Can I ask him some questions about his father, or do you have information about his father, Ms. Johnson?
I do not, and I was hoping that Ms. Paxson might have that information or be able to obtain it from the mom, because I don't have mom's contact information either.
So do you mind if I ask him questions not related to the offense?
Well, I asked him whether he knew off the top of his head, and he didn't. He didn't know the phone number off the top of his head. You know, they keep them in phones now.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking. Okay, so you're on mute, Ms. Johnson.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So, Mr. Reed, where does your father live?
He lives in Glenview.
In Glenview, like here in Tarrant County?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if there's a court order about possession, about you and your dad and your mom?
Yeah, my mom was going to let me live with him like already, but.
Okay, so there's no standing court order then, is that correct?
No, not sir.
Okay. Okay, yeah, Ms. Paxton, if we can try and follow up and get information about the dad, I'm open to the idea. All right. So, Ms. Johnson, thank you for letting me talk to you. I just want to, my big question is, does he live here or does he live like in Arkansas, right?
I understand.
So,
thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Reed, at this point, I'm detaining you, but Ms. Paxton's going to try and find out. I don't necessarily want you here. I just want to make sure if I release you, it's a situation that you don't get yourself in trouble again. All right? Yes, sir.
I feel like I'll be better off with my.
Whoa. If you have a question for me, you can ask. If you want to tell me something, me and your attorney do not want you to tell me a story. Okay? So I'm cutting you off. I apologize for being rude. I don't want you to put yourself in a spot. All right? And that's what it is. You can tell your attorney and she can communicate to me, but I'm happy to answer questions, but a question means it starts with who, what, when, where, how. Okay? Now I'm going to let you know there's behavior levels here. You need to be a level 1-0. That means you need to follow all the instructions. If you're not going to school here, you're not going to get to level 1-0. And that's kind of evidently that's the source of the problems here. Okay, so just do what you're supposed to do, take care of your business, and that way we can get you out of here to go home. Okay? Now, do you have a question for me, or do you want to tell me something?
I wanted to tell you something.
Okay, then we're going to ask you not to because I don't want to make your attorney's job any harder than it has to be. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And the reason why, just so you know, there is a DA that's sitting here taking notes. So if you were to say something like, oh yeah, Judge, you know, back 5 years ago, me and my buddies robbed a bank. Well then, you know, the DA is going to take that down and send his investigators, right? Not that you did that, but I'm just saying you could say something that hurts you. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you.
Tanya Venegas. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Good to see you.
You as well.
All right, Tanya, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you get to see a judge every 10 days. While you're here, you have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. All right, so you're 16, you're level 1-0. You've been level 1-0 for 2 full weeks now, pretty much since you got here. All right, so police were dispatched for domestic in November. Mom, oh, this is the one with the hickeys on the neck with a boy in the room. All right, so is mom here?
Yes, Your Honor, she is.
Oh, hi, Mom. Okay, if I remember, I talked about releasing her. Do you have, what's different now if we release Tanya back to home?
I've spoken to Mom and she says that she's been talking to Tanya over the phone through the detention center and that she feels comfortable with her coming back home. She said that they discussed their issues over the phone and she can add to that, but she did tell me that she was comfortable with her coming back. The DA did file a petition yesterday, but there's no court date set yet.
So, Mom speaks Spanish only?
Yes.
So, Tanya, you weren't able to talk to your boyfriend while you're here, right?
Huh?
You were not able to talk to your boyfriend while you're here, right? So you understand that if I release you, if Mom says don't talk to any boy, you don't talk to any boy, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the alternative is you come back here and we can make sure you don't talk to any boy, right? If there's a boy that you want to spend time with, mom has to approve. If not, you can wait till you're 18 and you can see and talk to whatever boy that you want. But while you're 16, she sets the rules, okay?
Yes, sir.
So think of it, you're level 1-0, so you know what a DNA is back there, right? Do not associate,
Oh.
right? Okay, so if your mom tells you do not associate with that boy, then you're not going to associate with that boy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, so you understand she sets the rules. You're level 1-0 here. You need to be level 1-0 at your mom's house.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then when you turn 18, you can do whatever you want. But until then, you understand you have to do what she says because she's mom, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mom, do you have any questions for me?
¿Tiene preguntas, señora? Él la va a dejar ir a la casa hoy con usted y le estaba diciendo a la niña que tiene que seguir las reglas de usted y la alternativa, si no las sigue, la alternativa es regresar al centro de detención. Okay.
Now, can she set up did I talk to her about setting up the alarm on the window?
No.
Okay, can you explain that process to her? Like at Home Depot, you can just buy the little door alarm so it goes off if somebody opens it.
Yes, I'll explain that.
Okay. All right, Tanya, I'm giving you a chance, but what do you think is going to happen if I find out that you're not listening to your mom?
I'm gonna come back here.
You'll come back here. You don't want to see me again, right? Okay, good. All right, thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Judge Kim.
You're welcome.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Señora, ¿me puede esperar en la sala de espera, por favor? Gracias.
So we have, all right, at this point, these proceedings are open to the public under the open courts provision of the Texas Constitution. However, the Texas Family Code specifically states that when a child is under 14 years old, that the court hearing shall be closed to the public unless the court finds the interests of the child or the interests of the public would be better served by opening the hearing to the public. Unable to make such a finding, I am now closing these proceedings to the public. Hold on, I'm bringing the child. Let's see what other, I don't have any other people. We have mom here.